Welcome, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever it may be. Welcome to tonight's edition of the Klown podcast. I'm Scott Burks, and my partner is Dwayne Nash below us right here. Check them out on the yards of HBCU Sports, reps for all things HBCU Sports, as well as Sleazy Radio every Tuesday night on Facebook Live. Please check him and his crew out. Great show. You'll laugh your ass off. You'll be entertained as well. Also, please check out his great work on herosports.com, where he writes about all things pertaining to FCS, especially as it pertains also to HBCU sports. Meanwhile, please check out your boy here, the Klown Times podcast, the Klown Times sports blog. I'm messing up because I'm frazzled. Anyway, please check me out at www.theklowntimes.net. Check me out on Facebook as well, where your smartphone, desktop, laptop, wherever it may be. Do a search, and you'll find us there as well. So we're going to continue on.
Hopefully not to be frazzled, because remember, we are recording.
We are recording. Oh, one last thing. Please subscribe. There's a few subscribers this week, so please hit the subscribe button and the bell button so you can get a notification of new podcasts and videos. You'll be glad you did, and we'll be glad you did. And one last thing, get the merch.
Get the merch.
CafePress.com, search for the Klown Times Sports. The link will be in the description when this video is uploaded tomorrow, so you can find us there as well. So as I was about to say earlier, this is week 2 or 3, whatever the hell it is, of the FrenchOpen, and we got week 2. My guest here, she's gonna break that down again. We all love her. She's back. She's gonna make some noise. Janina Reed from Real Tennis Fans Podcast on YouTube is in the hizzy. So welcome back, Janina. What's up, girl?
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, right on. Let's get to it, shall we? Yeah. So the women's, should we care? Do we care about the women's side? Because I'm just saying, Venus is out.
What intro?
Flo Stevens is out. I'm just saying what the people are probably thinking right now. And now Coco, God bless her, got eliminated in the quarterfinals earlier today by an unseeded young lady, which Janine will tell us more about because she's the expert and we're here to learn. So I'm just saying, should we care about the women's side going forward? Because no one's in it that I know of.
Okay, so your defending champ is still there.
Okay.
Who I can tell you that I honestly don't remember her winning last year. I must have not. I must have not. I'm like really trying to think when we were discussing it on my show, and I was like, I have no recollection of her winning, like zero. Her name is Schwatek or something like that. I'm sure I'm butchering that. She's doing well. Apparently apparently she's been playing well all year, but like I don't know who she is. I got no idea. But she's still around. So maybe she'll defend her title. I don't know. Coco's match today, that was a disappointment because she beat herself. She totally beat herself. She had set points
3 times, right?
She could not convert, and she just had a mental breakdown after that and was gone. I was watching the match. The first set was over. I left for work. I started my daily phone call with my co-host Reels on my drive to work. I don't have a long drive to work.
Shout out to Reels.
And it was over. He's like, I said, so did Coco rebound? Is she getting her shit together in the second set? He was like, girl, it's 5-love. And I'm like, wait, what? I said, I only left my house 5 minutes ago. So that third set, she just clearly had a huge mental breakdown and just went away. However, Coco is 16 years old.
Yes.
She is doing great. I think we will see a lot more of her. I've told you before, she's training at Patrick Martoglu's academy, who is in Paris, who is Serena Williams' coach. Yeah. She's got a good team around her. She is part, I believe, I'm 99% sure that she's a part of Federer's team. They're called Team 8. So that whole like PR group, whatever. So, I mean, she's surrounded by good people who are going to want her to succeed. And see her do well. And she's 16. She's got plenty of time. Right now, we can see that they're doing things to her game. Her serve is a little bit wonky, and we see them trying to change it, and her, some of her shots. So she'll grow into that and find out what works for her, and she'll be great. Sloane, don't really know what happened to her. She was playing really well. She looks really fit. And she just went away, and she usually does really well on clay. It's her favorite surface. The game suits her really well. It suits her style because she's a counter puncher. I mean, you got to be able to play those long points to win on clay. But, she pulled a Sloane and she got her ass kicked by nobody. I have something in my eye. My God, this sucks that we're on camera because I something's in there. But anyways,
waiting to come out.
I feel like there's hair or something. I don't know. But so I don't really even know who's left in the women. I really don't. I don't. So good luck to them. As far as the men.
How Christian of you. Good luck to you. I don't know who the fuck you are, but good luck to you anyway.
Yeah. So for the men, we will have a new finalist because Federer, Novak, and Rafa were all on the same side of the draw. Right. So they have to take each other out. Federer withdrew.
Which sucks. I understood why, but it still sucks.
Yeah. I mean, he basically said, I just want a few matches. I'm focusing on grass. He hasn't played in a long time. He knows he's not going to win there. Sure. People are pissed off because, why did you enter if you thought you couldn't win? Right. Well, of course he thought he could win. I mean, he honestly probably knew that he wasn't going to play anymore in the match that he won before he pulled out. But that's just not his thing. He's not going to just give it away. That was a tight, tough match. It was good tennis. And then he's like, yeah, I'm done. Have a good time, France. And he moved on. Novak looks crazy like he always does. He had a huge mental breakdown in his match today. He was being heckled by someone in the crowd.
Awesome.
So remember we talked about the night matches not having an audience because of the early 9 o'clock curfew, right?
Correct.
Well, they have extended the curfew to 11 o'clock. So now what's happening is what happened at the Australian Open. Halfway through the match, they have to stop playing and get everybody out. They don't let them stay. So he was being heckled by someone. He doesn't typically tolerate that well. He has a known pattern. He will argue with fans. Well, I don't know if you want to call them fans if they're heckling him, but he will go back and forth. And that shit started.
He's like Kevin Durant, in other words. He's Kevin Durant.
For sure.
Gotcha.
So then everybody's gone and they have to finish the match with no one there other than the people from their teams. And he was playing this young Italian guy, lots of promise, Berrettini. Mm-hmm. He did manage to take a set off of Novak, which somebody else did too. I don't know. Novak is Novak. He's the number one player in the world. He's fucking good. I can't stand him, but the motherfucker is good, So he won. And at the end of the match, it was like this fucking Hulk scream, but not once, 3 times. And nobody's there, dude. Who are you yelling at? Who are you screaming? At one point, he smashed his racket into the side of the court. Awesome. He broke something, but whatever. Winning covers a multitude of sins. So we don't talk about his behavior. We excuse it. And people who question it, I was just told on Twitter, everyone can't be the darling of tennis like Federer. No, they can't, but he's a dickhead and he always has been. This is always how he's acted. So it's not new. I'm used to it. I don't really care that much about it. It's quite entertaining at times. I love a good Novak meltdown. I fucking love it.
And we love a villain. And we love a villain too.
Well, the problem is he doesn't want to be a villain. He wants to be loved. So
he's one of those. So he really is like Kevin Durant then.
Yeah. It's a lot like Kevin Durant. Yeah.
The current villain on tour is Daniil Medvedev. And he owns that shit. He's like, bring it. Come on. Give me some more.
Everyone likes a good villain.
When he wins a match that he wasn't supposed to win and he's doing his encore interview, he's like, yeah, I'm sorry I won today and that you were just so behind me. I'll try to do better next time. And then he'll just crack up. And I'm like, yes, be the dickhead. Own that shit. They don't want you to win. So, but he lost too. So Whatever. However, he doesn't play well on clay, and he won a few matches, so that's a big deal. So we are left. I don't know who Rafa's up against. Like, I never pay attention to his opponent because he always wins,
Novak.
right?
You talking about in the semis?
Well, now it will be Novak in the semis. I don't know who he beat to get there.
Oh, he beat Diego Schwartzman. It's like
that's right.
Argentine Jewish name. Yeah.
So he is Argentinian. He's tiny. Like, he's listed at like 5'5". No, he's not.
Woo.
I'm 5'4". I'm taller than Diego. I've stood
Wow.
his racket when it's just like on the ground, maybe resting against his leg, I feel like it takes up half his body. It looks so big in his hand. He's so small. But he's good, you know. He moves really well. He's a scrapper. He can give anybody trouble on any day. But, you know, again, it's Rafa on clay in Paris. So, oh my God! Listen, he's.
Is that like a kickstand? Is that like a kickstand?
I mean, like a serious question. Why do we always inflate athletes' heights? We do that in every sport, and I don't get it. It's so dumb. Just like say this is how tall they are. I don't know. It starts at a really young age. I remember my high school basketball team, this guy being listed as like 6'2". What was it? It was like maybe 5'11". At the time, he might be 6'2".
That is a huge, egregious difference.
I know. And I feel like this happens all the time in sports, but whatever. Anyway,
oh my God.
Diego is tiny. Don't let anybody tell you any different. He's a little man with a lot of big game. So Rafa beat him. He'll play Novak this time. So when Novak and Rafa played last year, it was like Novak didn't know how to play tennis, and it was his first time on the court, and he just got his ass handed to him. Typically, when that happens to Novak, and they play again in the same situation, it's revenge time. I don't really know if that's possible against Rafa on clay. I really don't, but I'm here for it. Would love to see Rafa lose. I'm so sick of him winning here, but I kind of want him to win too, because then that's history and that's fun. And I don't like to cheer for
Rafa's
Novak.
my guy.
Fuck you. You know, so I mean, that's where we are with the
Where's
tennis.
the love?
Stefanos Tsitsipas, the young Grecian, will probably be in the final against whoever wins the semifinal. And you know what? He honestly has a good shot against either of them. He's young. He's fearless. If he plays Novak, he probably has a bigger shot than if he plays Rafa, just because it's Rafa again. Oh my God, I'm like such a fucking broken record. It's Rafa on clay in Paris. He doesn't lose. He has lost 2 times there in 100 and something matches. He's got 2 losses. So he's won the title 13 times in 15 years. So do we really think he's going to lose this time? Yeah, no. He and his little hair plugs will get through.
You know what? I wonder if Rafa like pinched Diego's cheeks at the end since he's so small. It's like, you're so cute.
Wow.
I don't.
You trying to make him in a Webster? Is that what you're doing? Oh my God.
I didn't watch it. Like, I don't watch, I do not watch Rafa at the French Open unless I think someone has a true shot at winning against him, because it's just,
it might be
a beatdown.
With Novak. It might be with Novak. You might want to tune in. I know that Novak's a dick and you have so much love for him, but I'm sure that you would love to see that, because he's more than capable.
I don't typically wake up for it. You know, it'll be early in the morning and I don't wake up for Rafa or Novak. I just hope that it'll go long. Like when they play, typically it's a long, grueling 4 or 5 hour match. Right. So I just kind of hope for that when they play in a final, when the time zone doesn't favor me, and that it's still going on when I wake up. Okay. Because I can't let them interrupt my sleep.
Oh, man.
With you on that, yeah?
I hear you. All right, so basically, okay, fine. So as far as I'm concerned, the men's side right now, just on name recognition, because, you know, I love women's tennis too. We all know that. I hope we all know that.
Yeah.
But I just from name recognition, it's where it's at this weekend. Because again, aside from the defending champion on the ladies' side, I don't know who the fuck is. I mean, you have an unseeded player right? That took out Coco, and God bless her. She played a good match. She played good.
Her nerves didn't get to her, and she was like,
Coco beat herself, but she played
this.
good. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But I just do not know any of those women from Adam.
Listen, I don't either. Don't feel bad about that.
So I'm guessing the ratings will be pretty interesting this weekend. They're not on TV as it is. But
I will say that I was disappointed by Serena's loss.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting that. She should have won that match. Her opponent played really well, but Serena's level dipped, and had a really interesting conversation about, aging athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And how there comes a time when the desire is just not enough anymore, because your body doesn't always keep up with your mind, right?
It'll betray you.
Right.
You're a little bit slower. You're just not as consistent. I mean, Serena didn't serve as well as we usually see her serve. It used to be, it didn't matter if Serena got broken, because as soon as she remembered who she was, she's like, oh, I'll just break you. I don't have to win another service game at all. I'll just win yours. She could always do that, but she looks good. I mean, she really looks good. She looks fit. Clay's not her thing. When we see her on grass, that's going to be really telling, I think. It's going to be really, really telling. I will say Naomi Osaka, with following up on that whole debacle, has pulled out of the grass warm-up that she was scheduled to do.
Yeah.
That tells me that she's probably not playing Wimbledon, which is huge.
Right.
Huge.
Yeah, that's the tune-up for Wimbledon. Yeah.
And I will tell you this, that Howard Bryant reminded us or shared with us on my podcast.
Yeah.
Naomi Osaka has not committed to the Olympics.
For Japan.
Oh, really?
For Japan, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and apparently NBC reached out to her wanting a 15-minute times commitment from her to do an Olympics promo, and she turned them down. Now, and they want her to be the flag bearer, and she's not committed. I saw her talk about the Olympics. Someone said, what do you think about it? Do you want to play? We're in the middle of a pandemic. Her response was very calculated. And she says, as an athlete, of course I want to play. That's an athlete's dream, is to be an Olympic champion. But as a human and what's going on in my own country, I don't think they should take place. All the health officials in Japan are saying, we can't do this. We can't, we should not, it should be canceled.
Wow.
But NBC's like, no, we're going to do this. So we'll see.
Ratings, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I have been saying for a long time, I don't think the Olympics are even going to happen. I don't know how they can, to be honest. Japan is in a huge spike in COVID cases. They don't have people vaccinated. Their healthcare workers are telling them that they cannot volunteer to work the Olympics because their hospitals are at capacity. And if they leave, people are going to die.
Wow.
So I really and Japan is not requiring athletes to be vaccinated. So,
that's not going to be a clusterfuck.
What makes it even more fun is the amount of athletes who are now starting to come out and say that they're not getting vaccinated. So add that into the mix too. Yeah,
it's going to be a shit show if it actually.
I hate it here.
If it actually happens.
I hate it here.
Well, I think that we kind of feel like in America things are getting back to normal. We have a very high population of Americans who are vaccinated. Our herd immunity is happening because so many people have gotten sick. So we feel comfortable. And England is pretty much in the same boat as us. And then Iran. Nowhere else in the world, in the entire world, do people have a high vaccination rate. Nowhere.
Wow.
And you want all these people, these athletes and their teams to come to one. Japan's not big. They're already in the midst of a crisis. They there was the public health department in Japan declared a public health crisis that is scheduled to end 2 days before the Olympics are due to start. So that is clearly by design.
Wow.
Can you really say like this is going to be the end of the crisis? Of course you can.
Of course.
Well,
oh
right,
my God.
So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
That's crazy. Well, I don't know what to say, but I'll say this. I hope Naomi feels better. I mean, say what people like Rob Parker and Chris Broussard on Fox Sports Radio was saying, two black guys were saying, not that it has anything to do with it, but I just point that out, was saying that she didn't want to be in Naomi Osaka. They weren't going to speak to the press, stay home. That was their thing. So you could get on them on your time, Janina. I know you got some words for them. But anyway, the point being, the point being is that that aside, I hope that she feels better because mental health and depression, that's nothing to fuck with.
No,
it's not. It's not. And I really just hope that, well, I don't remember if we talked about it here or not, but there have been some mental health advocacy groups that have come out in support of her and any other athlete saying, if you want to skip press due to your mental health, we will pay that fine. So I think that tennis as an establishment is going to have to do something. They're going to have to. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how they're going to handle this and still come out smelling lily white like they always want to, but they're going to have to address it at some point.
Well, all sports are going to have to start addressing it sooner or later. I mean, to paraphrase Martin Luther King, if it's a problem in tennis, it's going to soon be a problem everywhere, especially for those that actually have mental health issues that are going to want to come out and say something like, I don't know if I want to do interviews. And then just for the jerks, I'm not going to call no sport, but just for the jerks that are just like, I don't want to do media. I got a mental health issue. So yeah, it's going to have to be addressed sooner or later.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, every other workplace has some kind of employee program for assistance. And this is a workplace issue. It really is. Correct. So they need to fix it.
Yeah.
Correct. Well said. All right. I think that's about it. As far as tennis goes, we'll see what happens on the weekend. We'll wrap about it next week. So as always, Shanita, thank you for bringing the pain. Thank you for bringing the heat. Please check her and Reels and the rest of the crew out on Reels Tennis Fans podcast on YouTube. It's entertaining as hell. I would ask, as I did a few weeks ago, if she had a schedule, but in her words, what did you tell us?
Oh my God, what did I tell you? Don't do this to me.
She said, quote, "We're black. We do whatever we feel like."
It's true. It's true. We are black and we like to have black guests. We occasionally let our friends on, but they have to prove themselves.
Yeah. Been there before.
Ask them like a cookout related question, and that will let you know if they're welcome.
Let me come on your podcast. I know how to.
Yeah. We're gonna ask you a few questions first. We'll ask you potato salad related question first. Then we'll go from there.
Listen, before I go,
races or no races?
I saw this TikTok about the whole potato salad, and I sent this to my white friend Tony, and I said, I need you to understand that this is real.
It is.
Nobody goes to a family gathering and eats the potato salad without saying who made it.
Yeah.
Janina, I don't know if you've heard about this movie or not. It's one of my favorite movies to watch during Thanksgiving. Of course, it is a period piece, if you will, for that season. It's called Who Made the Potato Salad? Starring the great Jaleel White. Who else is in it?
Oh yeah, I remember that short. Yeah.
No, it's not a short. It's an actual movie.
Oh, it's a movie.
Feature length.
Yes, it's a.
I gotta check that out.
Straight to DVD. It's called Who Made the Potato Salad. Clifton Powell is in it.
Oh, nice.
Tiny Liston is in it.
Was Rest in peace.
Eddie Griffin is in it. It has Friday vibes to it.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it is.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
It has the quality of straight to DVD, but it's still highly entertaining. Yes, it's called Who Made the Potato Salad. Yeah.
We should all check that out.
We should check that out.
We should have a live watch.
We should have a watch party. Who Made the Potato Salad watch party? That would
My
be
question
epic.
is, I want to know who's streaming it because I bought it on DVD years ago. So if anyone is streaming that movie,
no one is streaming that.
I didn't think so. I wouldn't think so. Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh, that's hilarious.
All right, guys. Enjoy.
Take care. All right.
We'll talk about Rafa winning next week.
That's
I'm already ready already.
Okay, good.
Ready for the heat. All right, see ya. Thank you for tuning back. Welcome back to the Klown Hour. We're going to get into some NBA. Thanks again to Janina Reed.
Yes.
Real Tennis Fans podcast on YouTube. Please check them out. She's hilarious. Her crew is hilarious. You'll be glad you did. All right. So let's talk some NBA, shall we? Like last night's game, Clippers, Jazz. One of the best games of the evening. We figured the Clippers would run out of gas. We didn't know, A, that the Jazz would miss 20 straight shots and cause them to fall behind an early hole. And B, the Clippers actually could have and maybe should have won the damn thing. So I said I've had the Clippers in 6. I think it's going to be a long series. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 7.
Mm-hmm.
But part of me, is not worried about the Clippers fulfilling my little prediction. But this is a game that they lick it away. I mean, when is Utah going to miss 20 straight shots again?
Never.
With those shooters. Exactly. With
Never.
Joe Ingles, what's the sixth man of the year? His name slips my mind right now. I'll think of it later. But him and, of course, Spider-Man, your boy Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell, yeah.
Those snipers are not going to keep missing like that again. And also, they didn't have Mike Conley.
Yeah.
So it was on the silver play for the Clippers who, even though they ran out of gas, as we all suspected, but still, I mean, if you're the Clippers right now, I know you're going to be encouraged as like, hey, we're out of gas. We were gassed, but we lost by just 3. We could have went to overtime. But they had to be kicking themselves because shit. The game was right there on the silver platter.
Yeah.
They just ran out of gas. So what were your thoughts on how the Clippers did?
Yes, it's interesting because, I didn't get a chance to watch the entire game. I've watched the more so the second half and primarily the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But watching, they had Donovan Mitchell mic'd up during the game.
Mm-hmm.
And you could hear him on the sidelines telling his teammates, they just finished playing on Sunday. They're going to run out.
Yeah,
of energy. They're going to end up getting gassed, and we should be able to catch back up in this thing and making close. And that's exactly what happened. And they were capable of holding on and winning that game. But yeah, like you said, I'm still waiting to see. Even though he had a decent game 7 against Dallas,
right,
and he had a decent game last night. I'm waiting for this playoff P that everybody keeps talking about.
He's pandemic P. He needs to stop tripping. He's pandemic P. I mean, as soon as he opened his mouth and said that nonsense, I just rolled my eyes. I'm like, dude, really?
Yeah, because and that's one of the things that Utah prided himself in that win, because they were talking about it on the sideline is, hey, we may be shooting horribly, but we're playing great defense.
Right.
and if you continue to do that, and if you can somehow keep it within, I keep telling people all the time, I don't care how big a lead is in the NBA nowadays, but if a team can get it within 12 in the fourth quarter, starting in the fourth quarter, you're good.
Yep.
Especially the way that the league is being played now with everyone taking threes. 12 points is not an insurmountable lead. No. So the thing is, if you can just play well enough, no, not at all. And if you can just play well enough and get it that close, maybe even 15 if you're an elite shooting three-pointing team, you'll be fine. And the Utah Jazz proved that yesterday.
Yeah, they're outstanding defensively.
Yeah,
and they proved why they're the best record in the league this year. I would say this, man. the Western Conference, this is probably the first time in quite a while where all 4 teams left in the Western Conference are very close.
Yeah, they are extremely close. I don't know
close.
who can come out of this 4. As a matter of fact, so last night on Sleazy, we discussed what was I most surprised by so far in the playoffs. And the number one thing that came to mind was the fact that seeds 1, 2, 3, and 4 out of the West all came out of their respective series, and because it could have gone either way.
Right.
Well, I take that back.
Excuse me.
Phoenix, LA could have gone anyway on paper.
Right.
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 LA, Dallas actually really could have gone either way. The way that Memphis and Utah started, you were like, oh my God, Memphis might be real, but Utah Jazz said, nah, we're number 1 seed for a reason. Yeah. And even though it went 6, but Portland, Denver could have gone either way.
Yes.
Very
much so.
The one game where Dame Lillard scored 50 and lost.
He doesn't have any help. I feel so bad for him. He just has zero help.
He don't. And my sister, who's a huge Lakers fan, is like, please send him to LA. Please.
It might happen. He might get fed up of coming short in the playoffs. He putting the work in.
Yeah.
Boy, CJ McCollum doesn't show up, and who else do they have aside from him?
Yeah, exactly. Because what's your boy's name? I forget the center's name who actually was balling out last year.
Oh, Jokic.
Jokic, yeah. Who hasn't looked the same since. Mm-hmm. Melo is Melo at this age. He's who we would expect him to be at this age. But yeah, he really is not getting any help. They're going to get a new coach coming in. They let go of the guy who they just had. So it'll be very interesting to see what type of direction that the Portland Trailblazers go into and how Dame takes that approach.
But even still, even though the West is wide ass open right now,
yeah,
the winner of this year's NBA Finals is coming out of the East. Because
you did say that.
Because Brooklyn, it doesn't look like it right now, but Brooklyn and Milwaukee are the 2 best teams in the league. I'm sorry. I know Utah has a better record. I know that Phoenix looked very good in the regular season. That's shout out to Chris Paul and company and Monty Williams, head coach. It's Brooklyn's and Milwaukee's world right now, and maybe Philly on the outside. But I'll say this:
that speaks volumes. I'll get to that in just a moment.
Yeah, because Brooklyn's making it look real easy right now. They beat that dog piss and snot out of Milwaukee. They were up by over 50 at one point.
Yeah, they beat them by 39, yo. Yeah.
I respect Milwaukee too much because it's a different team with Drew Holiday. I think they'll get back on track in Milwaukee. Plus, I know it's a regular season. We talked about that with New York and Atlanta in the regular season, but New York owned Atlanta until the playoffs, and Atlanta just pimp slapped them for 5 games. And it this might be the case with Brooklyn and the Bucks because the Bucks own them in the regular season. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Bucks look like in Game 3. If they come out like gangbusters, it's going to be a good long series as I thought it was going to be. I had Brooklyn in 7, right? But I mean, the way Brooklyn is looking without James Harden, they're a problem.
Well, they're looking great without James Harden, but Milwaukee is just looking horrible playing the way that they're playing. The biggest issue, of course, is their ineffectiveness shooting the 3-point shot. Now, without looking, I know that they've made less threes in the last 2 games than they average per game throughout the season, which is 14.
Right.
And I think they're either 14 for 57 or like 12 for 57 over the last 2 games shooting the 3. Yo, if it's not working and you were shooting 60% from inside the 3, why aren't you dumping the ball inside and taking more 2-point shots? Dude, the 3 ain't working.
Right.
Stop it.
Here's the thing.
It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't.
Speaking of outside shooting with Giannis,
mm-hmm.
Look, I'm a fan of Giannis. I think he's a great guy. He seems to be a great guy off the court.
Yeah.
Easy to play with, great teammate. He needs a jump shot. I said this, we've been saying this for the past 2 years. Dude needs a jump shot. When he went up against Toronto, led by Kawhi Leonard in the Eastern Conference Finals, they built the wall. After game 2, they built the wall. As a result, they went from 2-0 to losing 4-2 because of that adjustment. Simple adjustment, that and putting Kawhi on Giannis the rest of the series. That was
put a defender on him that's going to bother him. Yeah.
Right. And so last year, we saw what happened to him last year in the bubble. After they had a great start albeit against Orlando in the playoffs, they got with a Miami team that was red hot, and being in the bubble, home court was negated. It was negated, so it was the ultimate equalizer. And you saw how that happened. What turned out? It was a gentleman's sweep. Miami just punked them. And that was because they built the wall and said, Giannis, shoot and beat us from the outside. So dude, and it's happening right now against Brooklyn. He needs to develop a jump shot. Stop selling for the Euro step and all that stuff. Well, you can still do that if he wants to, which you'll get in the regular season because it's regular season.
Yeah.
Because come playoff time, they will take away your strengths. Look how, what's his name? Greg Popovich did against LeBron when San Antonio went up against Miami the first time around. He's like, please, LeBron, beat us from the outside. We ain't letting you get any of this shit inside. Beat us from the outside. And to his credit, he did. He did. So whenever you do that, you just give him some props, tap him on the back, say, hey, yo, man, you're it. But until that happens, they're going to take away, they're going to make you left-handed if you're right-handed.
Yeah.
So
but
that's what
that's
they're
the
doing
thing.
right now.
And you brought it up by using another great example. Dude, I'm going to give you what you want to or think you can handle, especially if you're not doing well at it.
Right.
You know, I'm going to need you to make adjustments. LeBron didn't make an adjustment. Like, dude, if you want to go ahead and shoot them threes, fine. Have at it. Same thing with Milwaukee. You want to shoot them threes? Okay, fine. Have at it.
Yeah.
You know, until you make an in-game adjustment and say, hey, we're not doing well doing this. Let's settle for at least making some buckets instead of completely missing altogether.
Do something, yeah.
Yeah. This is what's going to happen. And then, of course, in game one, I forget what game it was, but God, Milwaukee only went to the free throw line nine times in one of those 2 games. 9. That's 9 times more than you and I went combined.
Wow.
Dude, you're not going to the line. You're missing 3-point shots. This is why you're getting beat the way that you're getting beat. And if my hope is that the coach makes adjustments, but he's going to have to learn to make in-game adjustments throughout the rest of the series. If not, get the brooms out, Boston, Brooklyn. You're going to end up coming home on a nice little sweep.
Well, that's why game 3 is so fucking important. It's like if Budenholzer doesn't do any adjustments, this might be his last year in Milwaukee.
Could be.
Because he has to get his team. He's a fabulous coach in the regular season. It's just that in the postseason, his teams where he's been in Atlanta, we have those great Atlanta teams in the regular season, or right now in Milwaukee. It's that ceiling in the postseason. He hits out of his conference semifinals or conference finals. He hasn't gone over the hump. So anyway, I'll say again, that's why it's all about game 3. If Milwaukee looks the part in game 3 and takes it home, it's going to be a long series. If they look bad and happens to win it, it'll still be a short series. So, so we'll see about that. And of course, Philly's doing that thing with Atlanta. Atlanta, man. I bet Indiana's looking at that and thinking to themselves, God damn it, why did we let Nate McMillan go? Especially if they fired their coach after only 1 season, which I thought was a silly hire to begin with. Just because I guess Nick Nurse is like the what's the Rams head coach name? The Los Angeles Rams.
Sean McVay.
Yeah, he's the Sean McVay of the NBA right now. If you're on the staff If you even smelled his farts, you're going to get a head coaching opportunity. This guy, I can't pronounce his name to save my life, after only one season, poisoned the locker room, poisoned his own coaching staff, his ass is out of there. So, because that was a playoff team last year.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know they were ravaged injuries, but the coach's abrasive style didn't help either. And when you're screwing up the chemistry of your own coaching staff.
Yeah, it's problematic when you do that with coaching staff.
That's where you know. And I feel bad for coaching staff because they'll probably have to get new jobs because this motherfucker got fired after 1 year. So anyway, the point being is that Nate McMillan is doing the damn thing, as we all know he's want to do. And he has Atlanta balling right now with his adjustments. Again, he's Jimmy swept my Knicks. And, you know, he took game one for Philly. So again, that's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with that. I'm going to close out the NBA segment with this. You heard about what's going on with Jay Williams and Kevin Durant?
Not fully. Please let me know.
Well, it came out late yesterday, and it's getting legs today. Basically, after Kevin Durant's Brooklyn Nets, they beat the hell out of Milwaukee last night. That morning, it was actually the morning he saw something that annoyed him so much that, of course, what he had to do, he tweeted
about it. Of course.
So basically, he watched a clip from ESPN's morning show, Get Up, with Jay Williams, with Jay Williams was a guest, but it's Greenberg's show, Mike Greenberg's show, formerly of Mike and Mike. But anyway, it's a clip on Twitter where they played a conversation apparently Jay Williams and Kevin Durant had.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, he told a story. Jay Williams told a story about Durant being upset that Williams compared him to Giannis. And apparently Durant was so angry about it, he confronted Williams about it at a Christmas party. Now, a quick background for context. Williams and KD apparently are good friends. So apparently they talk quite a bit. But what happened here was that this was apparently at a party or whatever. It was a Christmas party. So apparently everyone thought the conversation that KD had, or at least KD thought he had with Jay Will about being pissed that he compared him to Giannis, which, let's be real, if I was KD, I'd be pissed about it too, was off the record because at a Christmas party. You wouldn't think that your boy at that would share that conversation on national television.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
So that's what happened when Jay Will and his sweatshirt and suit and all shared that conversation after the Nets beat down the Bucks that Wednesday morning. He basically said that he shared that conversation. He said, quote, Kevin Durant comes to me and says, yo, don't you ever compare me to Giannis. And of course, we all know what happened. KD was mad and he said, quote, this is a fucking lie on Instagram. Jay Williams can never speak for me, ever. And he tweeted about Williams again, and this is what he said, quote, men will do anything to advance, should say men, will do anything to advance their careers in this media shit, wanting to be accepted by an industry that will dispose of you whenever they please. Keep me out all that corny ass talk about who's better in legacy and all that dumb ass shit. I don't even talk like that. End of quote. So, look, I have a hard time believing that, and again, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up also that Williams worked with KD on this TV show, The Boardroom.
Yeah.
So, again, they're boys. They were boys. So they have that relationship. But here's what I think happened, man. One or two things happened. The first one not being likely. Either Jay Will lied about the conversation. Or what I think happened, the likeliest of likelihoods, if you will, is that KD was pissed and embarrassed that his boys shared what was a very private conversation that was supposed to be or assumed to be off the record.
Yeah.
Be out of it. And it's come at a time which was very, 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 what's the word I want to use? Very sensitive and delicate. It's because guess who's playing right now? KD's
they're playing
Nets
against Giannis.
and Giannis's Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So as if Milwaukee needs any more motivation to get the asses kicked after game 2. So look, I know we're going back and forth about how sensitive KD is, like Ralph Tresvant sensitive. But look, well, for you young folks out there, Google Ralph Tresvant and sensitivity, you'll think me like.
Yeah. Well, only if you like 90s R&B. Yeah.
Yes. Well, 90s R&B is where it's at. We all know that. Everybody knows that. But anyway, the point being is that this is why a lot of athletes don't trust the media, especially former athletes in the media, because they do not understand the nuances that if you say something, you tell your boy this at a party, you don't go and repeat that same shit on national television, especially if he's dogging somebody else. Again, if it's soon to be off the record, you don't repeat the same shit that you hear off the record. It could be about little thing about tiddlywinks. You don't say that repeat that on national television. That's just my point of view. Again, I think KD is wrong. It's just that he called him a fucking liar. I think that's true. I think what Jay Williams said was true. I just think that KD is justified that he shouldn't have been, that was a private conversation. That he was like, why did you mention this shit? And now I got to go up against the same guy who I'm dominating right now, but he might come out and light a fire in his own ass and kick our asses for the next 2 games or maybe longer. So
I'll say this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You had me originally with the whole concept of not having private conversations come out through the media.
Mm-hmm.
Had me with that. When I heard the quote, I was like, okay, what disparaging did he say about Giannis? All he said was, don't compare me to him. Okay, I'm not him. All right, fine. It's not like he said, Giannis eats babies and has sex with dogs. He didn't say anything crazy about
Giannis sucks. He didn't say that. You're right.
Yeah, he didn't say like.
It was implied. It was implied, perhaps, maybe the context.
Well, maybe depends upon who's implying it, right? Because if you're telling me that KD says, or that KD told somebody that he's not Giannis, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? Because KD got a better jump shot. Yeah, don't compare him to Giannis. Right. Don't. He has a better jump shot. Yes. Right. Okay, who would I take if I wanted to have an inside game? I'd take Giannis over KD, but not by much. Because you know what? Once you start going further away from that basket, 5 feet, 7 feet, 10 feet, 17 feet, 27 feet, punch. Hey, he's hitting jump shots.
Right.
I'm taking KD all day.
Oh, yeah.
Please don't. No, I'm not him. I'm not him. So it's not like, 1, KD was telling a lie. And 2, he wasn't saying anything disparaging. So if he's potentially afraid of what Giannis is going to do, bam, like you the punk. And then 2, you're not the one that probably necessarily has to cover him. That's probably going to be left up to the likes of Blake Griffin, who has more body than you, or has DeAndre Jordan been playing to the series so far?
He's been quiet. I'll look it up.
Because I don't know if he's necessarily been getting minutes, but I know Blake has. So Blake could probably be the one that has to put a body on him. Yo, why are you afraid? Stop it. Man, listen, right? Oh my God, I hate to have to say this from someone from Seat Pleasant, because it is so close to the DC border. Mm-hmm. Yo, bro, I thought you was harder than that, man. You scared of that? Because of the oh my God.
DeAndre Jordan didn't play. He's a DMP.
Okay, so yeah, if he's not playing, yeah, they probably putting other big bodies on Giannis, especially inside. And he's a self-check outside of 17 feet.
Yeah.
So yeah, why are you?
Yeah. What's his name? Blake Griffin's been checking him on defense.
Yeah.
And he does he built the wall. He stays around the free throw line, maybe near the top of the key at the deepest.
A smart veteran defender.
Let Giannis shoot over him. Let me see if he can shoot.
Yeah, shoot those. If you beat us with those, All right. But
Yeah.
you won't. But so take those. Okay, cool. So is that what you're mad about? Come on, player. Man, listen. I don't know what happened in your transition from Seat Pleasant to the University of Texas, or from there to Seattle, or maybe there to, I don't know. But yo, that's what you mad
Yeah.
at? Dude, come on, man.
And also Giannis, he made Giannis look ridiculous on defense. He would put between his legs and go around him and made him look stupid. He took offense. It's almost as if they took offense that Giannis was trying to check him one-on-one.
Probably.
Going
Another
between
reason
his
why,
legs, and it's a 7-footer.
Yeah. Another reason why you ain't me, right? And you're right for saying so. So that's why I'm like, okay. I would have understood why you were mad at Jay Williams had you said something wild and off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you said something very accurate and very true and not necessarily disparaging unless you want to take it that way. And you got, oh, dude, come on, man. You softer than baby thighs, dude. Come on, man. I thought you was better than that, dude. I'm disappointed in you, KD. I am.
And on that note, let's transition to HBCU Sports segment. Where the players, the young men, are not so soft, or the women as well. And speaking of which, I'm watching right now, and you'll be keeping with this too, the NCAA Track and Field Championships, where there's a lot of HBCUs representation there. So I'll
36 student athletes. Yes, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
36 student athletes. I'm highly excited, player. 36 student athletes to be exact. And the reason why I am so excited is because, of course, our alma mater, North Carolina A&T, is sending 21 representatives, and that's including alternates in the relay teams. I'll get to that in just a moment. Let me go ahead and get to some quick business. It's end of the year, so these conferences are handing out their all sports, which basically, get these end of the year awards based upon how your men's and women's and your entire program does as a sport based upon winning throughout the year. And they normally give out an award for the men and the women and an all sports award for the entire conference. So over the past couple of days, this award has been given out in 3 different conferences at the HBCU level. Started with the MEAC. Congratulations to our alma mater, North Carolina A&T State University, for sweeping the All Sports Award in the final year in the MEAC. I've been calling this campaign TEAL, take everything and leave. And that's exactly what they do. They went ahead. Oh, yeah. They took the All Sports Award, basically the Mary McLeod Bethune Award for the women and the Talmadge Lyman Hill Award for the men in terms of winning the sport for their respective sex within the MEAC. So congratulations to the Aggies for sweeping both awards and taking that award with them to the Big South. On the SWAC side, congratulations to Prairie View A&M, who was awarded the C.D. Henry Award for the men's side, and also the James Frank Commissioner's Cup Award for all sports for both the men and women. But on the women's side, Alabama State won the McGee Jacket Award for the women for having the best women's program throughout this past athletic year. And on the NAIA level, shout outs to the Gulf Coast Athletic Conference. Xavier University of Louisiana claimed its 10th overall and final Thomas Howell Cup, which is their version of their all sports award within the Gulf Coast Athletic Conference, because of course, this is the last season that Xavier will be in the GCAC. They're heading over to the Red River Athletic Conference. So congratulations to them. But like you were saying, tonight is the beginning of the 2021 Outdoor NCAA Track and Field Championships. Tonight is the men's night, and several events are currently going on. So I got an opportunity to watch A&T run the 4x1 meter relay. They came in first in their respective heat, thus moving on to the national championship round. Unfortunately, Coppin State and Norfolk State, who also participated in that event, did not get an opportunity to advance. Now, other events that's going on tonight with HBCU representation, the men's 110 hurdles happened. And as of right now, because they seem to be facing a protest in that particular event, is that just the heat?
Randolph Ross, by the way, just won his heat in the 400-meter dash, but go ahead.
Woo! Boy, I swear Ross is a beast.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it can't seem to get a result. This keeps coming up with men's javelin. As of right now, I'm attempting to get results and what happened in the 110, and I can't seem to get those to pop up. Let me see what's going on in the men's 100. As of right now, that's the long jump. I swear, dude. Yeah, just know that there are other HBCU athletes performing tonight, looking to advance to the finals in the men, and the women's events start tomorrow. But as of right now, the HBCU that has advanced, that I can capable of seeing right now on the stats, is North Carolina A&T's 4x1 relay team, who will be performing on Friday. So I'm waiting to see how everyone else that's performing today on the men's side looks, and hopefully we'll have some more advance. But if you ever get not ever, but if you get a chance, go check out my page or go check out my account on Instagram. That's at the Yard HBCU. Yes. I did my HBCU talk tonight with my man T, the track guy. He's a track and field performer, formerly with St. Augustine. He gave his predictions for the championships, and yeah, he's already right so far in one aspect, that he thought that the men's A&T 4x1 team would be advanced to the final. So he has that part of his prediction correct, along with some others that we're hoping to see how well he does on those.
And Trevor Stewart is about to run his heat as well from A&T. So we already have Randolph Ross winning his heat.
Oh,
and
yes.
We're going to have, and I think this is the third heat of the 400-meter dash.
So yeah, based upon what happens with this, we'll find out whether or not they both move on. Now, mind you, coming into this event, they were both ranked second and third, respectively, of Stewart and Ross. Nice. For this event. So it's a possibility we can get to both of them competing in the final again. So that's my hope, is that happens. But matter of fact, my hope is that as many I'm about to say as many A&T guests, as many A&T performers too, but as many HBCU athletes advance into the final as possible. Because so congratulations and good luck to everyone.
Yes, because as you said earlier, our alma mater makes up the vast majority of the HBCU kids.
Yes.
I call them kids because obviously they're going to be our kids. So that's
yes, they can most definitely be
Will. It's this weird feeling walking on campus, seeing young people who are young enough to be to be raised, to have raised.
It was strange when I was walking with my son, who was a couple of years younger than those students.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he's 21. He just turned 21.
Yes.
So yeah, he's most definitely old enough to be a senior somewhere. Yeah. It's weird.
Especially if a young lady like checks you out and you think to yourself, okay, should I be flattered or should I be frightened that a young lady who's young enough to be my daughter is checking me out?
Not this guy here, Scott. Not at all. All this gray on my face. Man, I've been getting called sir for like the past 8 years.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm like, ooh, I don't know, but ooh, you're right. Thank you for being kind. But
yes, thank you for being raised right. You're raised right. I'm happy about that. But you're like, damn. Don't
Here you go, sir. Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Ooh, don't call me sir, but
Please
I am
don't.
Sir.
I'll take Mr. Scott, but that's about it. Don't call me sir. Do not ever call me sir.
I'll take it. It is what it is.
I guess. So so basically my eyes are gonna be on track and field for the rest of the week. And see how that Trevor kid is running right now in this heat. So I'll keep an eye on that and see how that goes.
Yeah, but it's about to end in a couple of seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, it will be. Those kids are just fabulous. Random shit. Now back to us getting to our random shit segment, brought to you by absolutely no one. Real quick on the Julio Jones trade to the Tennessee Titans. it's a coup for the Titans. They didn't have to give up much.
No, they didn't.
A second round pick for next year and a fifth rounder. And I think, Trevor's coming in first in this heat. We will have two A&T kids in the final heat.
Let's go.
Trevor Stewart. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go. Anyway, the fact that they didn't have to give up, the Titans didn't have to give up much. And the fact that Julio Jones, albeit coming off of 2 injury-marred seasons, he's still Julio Jones. And the fact that he did not want to accept the number 11 that Brown is wearing, I forget his first name, who idolized him.
AJ Brown. Yeah.
AJ Brown, who idolized him and also trains with him, kind of funny. He trains with him every offseason. And he was on Twitter, and actually was it not Twitter, but it was a Twitter link to, on Twitter to his TikTok account, begging and pleading for Julio to come join him.
Wow. Oh, see, yeah.
He begged and pled with him, come, and if you come, I'll be more than happy to give up my number. Because he wore his number 11 because of Julio Jones. That's his professional number. And
Julio said, no, I'll just take 2.
Yeah.
That was nice of him.
That was dope.
Yeah,
so,
he didn't have to do that.
So basically, this is the Titans offense.
Mm-hmm.
You have a vastly improved Ryan Tannehill. Ran a decent offensive. I mean, he's playing better. He has better talent. He's a better coach.
Oh, most definitely, yeah.
So he escaped the which mountain that was named Adam Gase in the Miami Dolphins. Better offensive line. AJ Brown. I know they lost a tight end to free agency to New England. But still, Julio Jones on the other side, and you got this guy in the backfield named Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
that's their offense. They're going to be very good offense. Which offense won their problem the last 2 years anyway, but they have more with the addition of the emergence of AJ Brown, and now with Julio Jones balling with them, even at 85%, you're going to roll coverage over the Julio Jones side because he's Julio Jones. Okay, and so AJ Brown's going to be eating even more. So, and plus, that means you can't put 7 to 8 in the box, 8 or 9 in the box anymore to stop Derrick Henry. So he's going to eat. So as long as Ryan Tannehill continues to play well and doesn't revert to bad Ryan Tannehill in Miami, that's the key. He hasn't been bad Ryan Tannehill yet in Tennessee.
No, not yet.
It's all on him. Yeah. It's on him because he has talent around him. It's better coach team, better coach offensively. It's on you, homeboy. Don't fuck it up. Because we're looking at you, but also we're going to be looking at the defense. The defense was horrible last year.
Ding, 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 ding. You got me on 2 things that I was going to bring up. Yes, sir.
And so unless Bud Dupree fills a much needed, a huge pass rushing void, if he's able to do that at least, that could help some because our secondary's best friend is a good pass rush. All right. But they were dead last against the pass last year.
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. and so if they can shore that up just a little bit and get up to the standards of Mike Vrabel's like standards defensively, they're gonna be a problem. They're already a good team.
Yeah.
They're gonna be a problem. Because now you got a more dynamic offense on the perimeter with a fucking stud in the backfield and Derrick Henry who run over you, your mom, and everybody, right? And that's all you need defensively is to have Bud Dupree come through on the pass rush and hopefully find some help for him on the other side. That would, and tell you, if Tennessee does that, they're going to be a problem in the AFC.
Well, here are a couple of things, right? So one thing I'm going to reiterate is the fact that, yes, the Tennessee Titans defense has been exposed several times last year. And I'm wondering whether or not Bud Dupree will be that answer. There are a lot of people that believe that Bud Dupree's ability to rush the passer while he was in Pittsburgh was basically because of scheme.
Right.
And wondering whether or not...
And TJ Watt.
TJ Watt. So, so unless TJ Watt is walking in that door in Nashville, but you're gonna need some help, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, had a conversation with Coach on Sleazy Sports about this just last night. Being that he's a Miami Dolphins fan, when we talked about the trade, the first thing I asked him about was, "Hey, what was Ryan Tannehill's problem when he was in Miami?" His response was throwing the deep ball. You know the irony to that? When Julio wanted to be traded, he said, "I want to go to a place that wins and where the quarterback can throw the deep ball." But you're in Tennessee where Ryan Tannehill can throw the deep ball. So how effective will Julio be with a QB that can't necessarily throw the deep ball? We'll wait and see, because don't get it twisted. They do have talent over there on the skill positions. They do.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And this is a team that was extremely effective at getting the first downs, getting first downs or making plays on first down. So, yeah, they improved in an area that they were already good in. The question is, will they be able to improve in areas that they were bad at on both sides of the ball?
Right.
And with that said, which do you expect to happen first? Do you expect Ryan Tannehill to all of a sudden get the ability to throw the deep ball? Or do you expect Carson Wentz to be the good Carson Wentz that he was in Philly when he gets to Indiana?
Right.
Because if that happens, then
Indianapolis, that's another team.
Then,
depends on the quarterback, though. You're right. Depends on the quarterback.
Exactly. So, we'll wait and see which one of those actually happens first, because whatever one happens first, that'll be the team that wins that division.
Right.
So yeah, so I'm like I said, I'm happy for Julio because he's out of Atlanta. I'm happy for Tennessee because it didn't take them a lot to do it.
They had to give up hardly anything.
They didn't have to give up any assets.
Right.
What is going to cost them is salary cap.
Right.
And that's where they're going to get hit. But congratulations for the Atlanta Falcons, because you got rid of a guy who's potentially going to be a headache for you. Now he ain't dead no more. So it is what it is. But
and he's out of the NFC.
And he's out of the NFC. So yeah.
So there you go. But it's going to be that AFC South division has now become more interesting.
Yeah.
No one gave two damns about it in the past. But
not a recent. Well, you know what? I still don't. And I'm gonna say that.
No, we didn't give a damn about it. But I mean, Indianapolis is well coached. They're well coached.
You mean the AFC South? Oh, I thought you meant the NFC South.
AFC South. The NFC South. Yeah, people care about the NFC South. I mean, yeah, they care about it because Drew Brees the past few years.
Yeah.
Cam Newton the past few years when he was in Carolina.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan, of course.
Yeah.
And now Tom Brady's in Tampa.
Brady,
yeah, people always cared about the NFC. It's NFC South. It's the AFC South. No one gave two shits about. But that was good. That's going to change this coming season because even though they had two teams for the playoffs, Tennessee and Indianapolis, it's going to be more interesting now because of star power.
Yeah.
And there comes the interest level. All right. So I don't have any randomness. Do you have any other random shit?
Oh yeah, I do. And okay. I'm a little ashamed that we just not even going to touch on it. We're just going to go ahead and ignore the fact that it happened. Is that what we're going to do here, Scott? We're just going to act like that Sunday night didn't happen. So we're not going to talk about at all Mayweather and Logan Paul. We're not going to talk about that at all.
Yeah. I mean, that's a joke. I mean, I would say I'll say this. Boxing is now a mockery. The great sport of boxing that I grew up on loving. I mean, come on. Why the hell is damn Floyd Mayweather at 44, 45 years old fighting Logan Paul?
I can tell you why.
I mean, we know why. It's money and notoriety. But why is a dude from one separate weight class, Logan Paul is bigger than me.
Yeah.
It's a couple inches shorter, but more muscle mass than me.
Fighting
a guy in Mayweather who's about as small as my son, who's 11, as far as height-wise.
Yeah.
So, I mean, come on. I mean, really? I mean, would anybody take that fight seriously? I mean, at least when Mayweather fought Conor McGregor, at least that was more legit. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. But go ahead. But I'll say this. I'm proud of Chad Johnson.
I was going to get to that.
I'm proud of Chad Johnson. Chad Johnson, he showed me something. He got knocked down rather, in the fourth and final round when he was gassed because you tell where his hands were coming down.
Oh, his hands was wide open.
His hands
were low. But you know what? At the same time, I was like, the round's about to. Oh no, it's not.
Yeah.
But I'll get to that in just a moment, right? So even with the two exhibitions that happened that night, there were still two decent fights that happened. So there was a middleweight fight where Luis Arias beat Jared Hurd in a split decision in 10 rounds. That, like I said, that fight was actually a pretty good fight. Right. Where Arias actually came into the fight on a 3-fight winless streak where I think he was like 0-2-1. Right. So the fact that he came around and proved himself in this fight and looked good doing so was actually a pretty good fight to see. And then Bottle Jack, who had some bad luck coming into this fight, he was actually supposed to be fighting for the title. I can't remember the dude's name that actually had up until this week had the WBA title in that weight class, but Bottle Jack ended up getting out of that fight because that dude tested positive for the 4th time for banned substances. Yeah. So Bottle had to take an opponent at the last minute. Durbin was at Klown, who he ended up beating in the 4th round TKO. So Bottle Jack is actually looking pretty good. He said he may want to end up moving up in weight, and I think that might be cruiserweight for him. I can't remember, but whatever weight class he's in now. No, he's middleweight. He's a middleweight. But yeah, whatever weight class he's gonna go into, he's looking good now. I'm hoping he carries it on to wherever next he goes to. Right. But yeah, number one, first and foremost, for all of y'all who, well, I bought the fight. I did. I bought the fight. I didn't buy the fight for Mayweather. I didn't. You know, but for all the suckers that bought the fight looking for a result in the exhibition fight, shame on you. Yeah. And next time, just give me $50, please. Just give me $50. Oh, but man. I bought the fight because I wanted to watch Chad Johnson. Yep. You know, I had no idea he was fighting until watching the I Am Athlete podcast. And that's when he talked about
I didn't know that either. Ready. He just came out of nowhere and said, yo, I'm fighting.
Yeah, so I'm like, yo, let me go see this. Okay, yeah, there might have been an exuberant amount of money to pay for that fight, but I also watched the spectacle that was Mayweather and Paul, and the fact that Logan Paul came out there with a gold Pokemon chain on. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. And the fact that his shorts were representative of Pikachu, it is what it is. Funny. Ha, ha, ha. I laughed. It was what it was. And then, yes, it was. But, it was still entertaining to me. The thing was, it wasn't boxing. It was entertainment. And I looked at that match as what it was, like a WWE event. I didn't want to go ahead and carry weight to it. I didn't want to attach weight to it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of unfortunate that this is where boxing is going. But at the same time,
it's a damn shame.
It is. But I'll also say this, right? We need to go ahead and respect and cherish the boxers that we currently have that are actually good. They may not be as entertaining and well, I shouldn't say it's entertaining. They may not be as charismatic as the boxers of our youth. And yes, promotion has messed up pro boxing. Yes, it has. But there's still some good fighters out there, and we need to check them out whenever we get an opportunity. But back to Chad Johnson, he actually looked good against a dude who was a bare knuckle fighter.
Yes, he was.
So he was fighting a dude that's that is in combat sports and looked good for 3.5 rounds until that one moment of being lax where he got caught in his chin and got knocked down. But
he fought a legit fighter.
He fought a legit fighter.
That's what happens.
That
happens.
Yes.
No matter if you're good at your former sport, if you compete with someone else in their sport, that person in their sport is not going to let you beat them.
No.
Especially.
But you know what? Had it been a scorecard, Johnson would have won.
That's right.
Because he dominated those first 3 rounds. Throwing a very crisp jab, keeping him at a distance, doing some body work when needed.
He came prepared. He took it seriously.
Extremely prepared.
He took it seriously.
Yes.
I don't need him in the ring again, though. He called it the bucket list thing. Yes. I'll say this about him. Another reason I admire about him. I don't know the full quote off the top of my head. Mm-hmm. He essentially said you can't go through life being afraid.
Yes.
It's okay to come up. It's okay to lose if you come and do your best. Go do your best. It's something that's out of your comfort zone. I admire him about that.
And he's been doing it, and I applaud him for that. Congratulations to you for that, and congratulations for having looking extremely respectable in a sport where a lot of people, including myself, thought we were going to see you get knocked the fuck out, and it didn't happen. So I'm glad, happy for you, Chad. You know, you put on a great show, man, and congratulations to the most successful legal bank robber of all time, Floyd Mayweather. Yes, and shout out to Fat Joe with the fake beard that everyone's been talking about on social media. I find that to be hilarious. I wasn't watching until I just saw it before the show started. So yeah, for those who want to go ahead and investigate that, do it at your leisure.
Nice. Well, we could call it, man. On that note, thank y'all for tuning in to this episode of the Klown Hour Podcast. Please check us out on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. You'll be glad you did. We'll be glad you did. We're approaching, and I'm proud to say this, we're approaching 100 subscribers. Start from the bottom, trying to get here, wherever here is. So, I mean, it's all about the grind. The grind is awesome. Glad to have you along this journey, D. And I'm glad
to be here with you, brother.
And I'm glad for the commenters and the people who like the videos, subscribers. I'm glad you're coming along with us. It's a beautiful thing. Also, check out my man, again, Yars, HBCU Sports, reps of all things, HBCU Sports. Remember that. As well as Sleazy Raider every Tuesday on Facebook Live. Remember that as well. One more thing to remember, herosports.com, where you see his great work on FCS athletics as it pertains to HBCU Sports. So check him out there. Follow him on Twitter. Follow him on Instagram. We have his links in the description below as well. And also, one more thing, well, two more things. Get the merch, cafepress.com.
Get the merch.
That's right. Search for the Klown Time Sports. That link will be in the description as well. And one more thing, please get vaccinated. I know we are among the leaders in the world as far as percentages, but it's not near the 70% as the president wants. And also, we want to get back to normal. I want to go to the restaurant again. I want to be able to eat inside without a mask again. So please get your asses vaccinated. You'll live. There's no computer chips. You won't go 2 arms. No. You won't be allergic to sandwiches, as some crazy-ass woman in Tennessee said. Just get your vaccine. If not, continue to wear your mask, wash your hands, stay safe, and as always, take care. Until next time, peace out.
But before we go, real quick, on the vaccination part,
please.
These numbers have been coming up recently, and it's bothering me. That's why I got a little bit closer to the camera.
Yeah, it's bothering me too.
I don't know if this is accurate or not, but we're coming up on the NFL season, right?
That's correct.
And they're saying that there's but the NFL, to be more specific, there's a large denomination of players who are not vaccinated in this league. And the thing is, they're saying some of the excuses that I'm hearing is because they're not knowledgeable enough to know what's going on with this shot. Now, if you don't want to take the shot and you want to just go ahead and say, you know what, I don't trust it, cool, say that.
Right.
But don't say that you're not knowledgeable enough because, dude, you're playing in the NFL. You're around other people who have had the shot. You're around trainers who will probably give you information on the shot or who to speak to directly. And my guess is...
And doctors too. Team doctors.
Yes, and team doctors. And my guess is this, right? The NFL likes making a whole lot of monies, right?
Yes, they do.
And they want to do whatever they can to continue to make a whole lot of monies, which means we need to keep y'all at least safe, if not vaccinated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll probably have doctors that'll come in and talk to the teams and the players to talk to them about the shot if they have any questions. So to say that you're bereft, hey, I haven't used that word in a long time. So to say that you're bereft of information, Yeah, well, when it was necessary, right? So to say that you're bereft of information, dude, don't do that. Just say that you don't want to take the shot. I'll respect you more of a man like that, right? Instead of you saying, "Oh, I don't know," dude. They've been administering the shot since January. They've been giving out information since that time too.
Right.
Either you just don't care to know,
or you don't want to know,
or you don't care to know, or you just ain't paying attention. And if it's the latter, there are people here that can do that.
Right.
Dude, just do something, because you know what, dude? If the season's messed up because of you, I don't care how young you are. I don't care how strapping you are. Dude, I will wrestle you. Yeah. And I'm not talking about no Greco-Roman. No, we taking an ECW, WCW.
Chair to the back. Metal
chair to the back. Honky tonk man with a guitar.
Yep.
Something.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan with the 2x4.
2x4. Something. We fighting.
Yeah.
Yo, you're not gonna mess with my football season, player? Nah. So not because of your ignorance.
So
no.
Again, football players, young people in general. If you don't get your shot, we're still in this pandemic mess because of that. We're gonna be fighting. That's all we have to say. On that note,
I got my shot. I'll fight you.
Mm-hmm. Me too. So my son has to get his shot. So don't fuck it up and get him sick. We're gonna fuck you up. So on that note, you take care. Be good. Bye.